I would say that this right here is another case of we don't want to go woke so that way we lose money again. However, when you actually look at it and then you look at the other side of this issue, it seems to be that another shoe is about to drop, and it's possible that maybe that right there, coupled with the fact that Target lost a lot of money last year trying to push this nonsense, that, yeah, it would probably be a good idea to not fully embrace Pride this year.
Target's Pride Month collection will now only be available on its website and in select stores. The change comes after conservative activists organized boycotts and threatened Target employees over LGBTQ displays at stores. The boycott apparently worked. Target says it contributed to overall lower sales last year. In a statement, Target said it remains committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community year-round, not just during Pride Month.
So is this right here a case of get woke, go broke, or is this right here get broke, then go woke? Well, seeing how it is that every year, at least under the Biden administration, and seeing how it is that we got to put up with the SJW nonsense, that type of stuff there. By the way, we're actually winning on the front when it comes to winning against wokeness. It's actually dying. There'll probably be a video at a later date on that there. And not to mention a later date on the topic of whether it's get woke, go broke, or get broke, then go woke. But we'll cover that in a future video. A lot of people are looking at this and they're taking this as a sign that it's actually a turn of the culture war. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, you're winning. Target has decided to, for the most part, cut this crap. Now, have they fully cut this crap? No, they really and truly have not, but I'll explain in this video why it is that this right here is pretty much the last hurrah for this nonsense, but we're going to go back in time to last year too, but we're also going to, at the same time, go to another report to discuss exactly why it is that I feel that this nonsense is, for the most part, pretty much dead, at least at Target. But I'm also going to be explaining why it is that Target, or at least the other reason why it was that Target, or the reason that they're not telling you why it was they chose to basically not go through with this. And also something else too, like always in any video that I do, there is in fact another shoe to drop, and it's pretty daggone important. But let's take a look at the current report.
Not sell LGBTQ-themed merchandise in some stores this year during the Pride Month of June. This coming after the retail faced backlash for selling the products in stores last year. The company had said that backlash led to a 5.4% decline in comp sales in its second quarter 2023 earnings. Now, Shauna, lots of questions. This is Bloomberg reporting here. They said it would be about half of the stores that would not be selling the merchandise. But to put this into context, this is an extremely complex issue. Target had said that one of the reasons that they were initially taking some of the merchandise off shelves last year was because of safety concerns in some location after staff were getting threatened. They were also getting filmed on location, but then some LGBTQ employees had come out and said that the company kind of threw them under the bus. So it's a very complex thing for the CEO to have to navigate.
Very complex, and we have her.
So basically what Target's going to do is they're going to put some of that stuff online, which of course nobody's going to buy anyways, because quite frankly nobody is interested in this stuff and nobody wants it exposed to their children. And of course they're probably going to have it in certain select stores that are probably mostly in blue areas, because let's be honest, only blue areas have shoppers that actually buy this, which by the way brings me to the point that I was going to make at the very, very beginning, one of the points that I was going to actually go ahead and kind of put out there, and that was this right here. Why do you go to Target? Why do you go to Target? You go to Target because Target is an alternative to someone like, say, Walmart or even Best Buy in some cases. Let me explain. You can buy beer, you can buy some food, small things, not like steaks or anything like that, nothing like meat or whatnot, but canned foods. You got a pharmacy in there. You can buy electronics from there, and you can even get some furniture at certain select outlets. You can even get shelves, things like that. And of course, also clothes, normally off-brand, not as popular, not as mainstream, but still at the same time, though, Target basically serves as an alternative to someone like, say, Walmart. Or back in the day, Kmart was the alternative to Walmart, even though Kmart was actually really the most popular one in the 70s and the 80s. And all of a sudden, in the middle of nowhere, it just completely went downhill towards the late 90s. I think you'd be started on that. I mean, I could probably do videos on that there as well, but we may explore. I'm not going to get to. But here's the point. This is right here. Last year, Target faced a lot of backlash over this, which, by the way, we'll discuss here in a second. But Target, of course, does not want to see their stocks go down again. So obviously, what are you going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to try to take away the people's ability to come in here and, voice their opinions on the product that we're selling or the product that we're putting out there. First and foremost, kids should not be exposed to this stuff. I've done several videos on this topic, especially in the past couple of years, even though I'm trying to get away from the overall reactionary content. The fact of the matter is that kids should not be exposed to this, and obviously most parents know that their kids should not be getting exposed as well. Which then brings me to the future of said company and this particular line of clothing. Let's watch.
Complex, and we have heard Brian Cornell try to navigate this situation, going back to what he had said last summer. He called it gut-wrenching, just hearing about what some store employees had to confront as a result of this backlash. So where does the company go from here? In this report, Target spokesperson was very clear to say that Target remains committed to supporting the LGBTQ community. They're going to continue to have a presence at local Pride events in Minneapolis, where they are based, also throughout the country, and also remain committed to selling the Pride Month products. But I think exactly in which stores, that remains to be seen, and exactly how they're determining which stores to sell it in. That was not included here in this article. But again, Target will be selling some of these Pride supported merchandise here for the month of June.
Basically, Pride is dead. Here's the thing. Target and all these retailers, they lost a lot of money, okay? They lost a lot of cash back in 2023. And don't just think about inflation, which is already making matters a lot worse, but just go ahead and know this right here. When the alternative to Walmart, which, by the way, Walmart, I'm not saying this to diss Walmart. I've actually worked at Walmart twice. When you have extremely long lines and all kinds of other assorted people who go in and find a way to clog up lines. Look. My chief complaint about Walmart was always that for whatever reason, they always put the tobacco, all the tobacco was put in one actual lane. Okay, this is back when I smoked. And of course, that line would be full. Like, it would be damn near around the store, always. The problem was this here. A lot of people would go in there because they didn't want to go through self-checkout. Yes, I'm saying that they did not want to go through self-checkout. And of course, it was people who just didn't understand how to use it, but it still got abused anyways, even outside that. You're not buying cigarettes, you're not buying tobacco, you're not buying dip, you're not buying any of that. Maybe what they should have done was maybe they should have moved the tobacco to a different area of the store. And of course, you've got people, you're going to be carding people anyways. Why not just take it from there and just have a security counter and have it at a separate cashier or a separate part of the store? Why not just do that there? But obviously, if it makes sense, they're not going to do it. Which is interesting, too, because I want to see exactly what Walmart is going to do, because Walmart, of course, has survived in spite. But at the same time, you're never going to take down Walmart. But still, the point is this right here. People go to Target because it's an alternative to a place like, say, Walmart, okay? And sometimes you can find things in Target that you can't find at Walmart. Well, the last thing these people want to do is go inside of a store and guess what? Get paraded with woke politics. And of course, they don't want their children being exposed to this nonsense. I'm just saying that it was obviously a very stupid business decision for Target to go through with this. But of course, I'm going to ramble about it anyways a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and go on record right now. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Pride Month is dead. I honestly believe that it is dead. Or it is about to die, because as you guys will see after we look at the old reports from last year, why this right here is the case, because I've been warning of something for a very long time through those immigration videos that, of course, has popped up. But we'll get to that here in a second. But let's take a look at exactly what started this going back to last year, because people obviously, almost like everybody was wearing those glasses from the film They Live, which, by the way, John Nada's kind of the face that's at the very, very beginning of the video that you see. Actually, it's George Nada, I think, in the film. But still, at the same time, though, let's go back in time to what happened before. Let's roll this.
It is facing intense backlash over some of its LGBT pride merchandise. And now the retailer says it is removing some of the items after incidents involving displays being tipped over and even employees being threatened. KTLA 5's Lauren Lister is joining us now from West Hollywood with more on the latest pride controversy. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lou. We've been getting reaction to the chain's decision to remove some of its LGBTQ plus merchandise here at this West Hollywood Target location. The decision coming from the company after the chain says it had intense backlash from some customers, including violent confrontations with workers. Target did not say what specific items it's removing. The collection has been on sale since early May for Pride Month, which is held in June. You're looking at some of the offering. Now, like I said, we don't know exactly what they pulled, but among the items that received backlash specifically were swimsuits designed for use by some trans women and designs from a company that make satanic-themed LGBTQ plus merchandise. Target also confirming it's moved its Pride merchandise from the front of the stores to the back in some southern states where there was backlash from shoppers in those areas. In West Hollywood today, reaction to Target's decision to pull some items.
Of course, what happened was that Target's overall stocks themselves went down in value. People were obviously not buying this. They were beginning to lose money. Now, Target, of course, would tell you that the people in their stores were getting harassed. They would tell you that their employees were getting harassed. And for the most part, employees did get into contact with angry parents and people pointing out the nonsense. But of course, we live in a day and age where, guess what? You've got the internet, and the internet, quite frankly, is forever. So you can put whatever you want to, for the most part, within reason, onto the internet. The thing went viral. People were posting them to Twitter. People were posting them to other platforms like, say, Gab, I think was still at that point in time, too. People were posting it to Facebook. People were posting it all over the place, especially here on YouTube. And, of course, content creators made content on this. And, of course, awareness got out. So what did Target have to do? Well, they had to go through a period of a loss in revenue. They also were losing revenue in 2022 over the same exact stuff, over the same exact nonsense. It just didn't become more prevalent until last year when people really and truly started to notice some things were really and truly out of place. You see, typically, a lot of times, some people will look at something and they'll say, oh, it's probably a one-time thing or it's not going to be here to stay. But obviously, Target went out of their way to tell you that Pride was definitely here to stay. Now, the thing about Pride is this right here. And I want to go ahead and say this. And I understand that I may get ad suitability on this video right here. That may get limited ads. But like I said before, kids should not be exposed to this crap. They should have never been exposed to it. And obviously, it's a part of the agenda. Now, has that agenda stopped? Well, that right there remains to be seen. And we'll probably discuss that in later videos. But check out the other half of this old news report before we go any further. So that way you guys can see exactly how deranged some of these people really and truly are.
Really disappointing that they pulled some of it. I identify as LGBTQ, and my kids are really proud of the fact that when we go to Target, there's all this Pride Month and Pride awareness, and they feel it makes them feel really good that our family is affirmed.
In a statement Tuesday, the company writes in part, since introducing this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work. Given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including remove items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. Also in that statement, Target referencing a continuing commitment to the LGBTQIA+ community through Pride Month and throughout the year. We also reached out to local leaders in the LGBTQ+ community, and we'll have an update on that for you coming up. For now, that's the latest live here in West Hollywood. I'm Lauren Lister. I'll send it back to you.
I could have gotten away with only playing just the woman at the very beginning, but the point is this right here. This is an extremely small section of the population, only about maybe 3 to 4%. And I got to be honest with you, I don't even think the real number is even that high because a lot of it was a bit of a fad. It's definitely a dangerous fad, extremely dangerous fad. But when people just go out there and say that my kids are this, my kids are that there, it makes you automatically think to yourself that maybe the mental illness is a lot worse than you might would think. And it may also make you think that the child is kind of being forced into this. I remember when I was in the last university I was in, this is back in 2019. I say last university because obviously I've been to college a few times. I've graduated a couple times, but the point is where I finally did from a university in 2021. But one of the first classes I took was a sociology class. Now, I know somebody's going to come in here and is going to rip me apart on this, but it was just something that I had seen. We would watch some videos, some documentaries, things of that stuff there. We have discussion, and of course we would have paperwork. We'd write reports, give our thoughts on something. There were other things too, like say the 13th, for example, which was on Netflix. Normally the stuff that we were forced to watch or we did watch as part of homework assignments was typically available for us. And one of these, of course, included a little boy who really and truly believed that he was a girl, and there was even a period where he even said that he would off himself if he could not be a little girl. The parents put up with this. The parents, quite frankly, allowed it to happen. Now, I have no idea what's happened to that little boy since, but maybe I'll try to link the section in the description box so you guys can see for yourself, because maybe there's been an update on that. This right here is mental illness at its worst, okay? It's also emotional disorders. It's everything. And I personally believe that for the most part, it's being pushed by the parents. Also kind of goes back to any time we have a mass shooting or anything like that. And granted, there are always red flags out there. But I've always said this and will continue to say this over and over and over again. Anytime something like this happens, if you really and truly want to prevent these things from happening, be a better parent. Stop blaming video games. I understand that some people are going to argue that video games do this, and my argument is balance is actually the right approach. If you want to, go play the game with your child. It's not going to turn into a killer. Only unless you allow somebody to get desensitized to something will they develop something that may fit them in that direction. But the point is, where you got to be a better parent. However, I did say that there was, in fact, one more shoe to drop. And here it is.
FBI and Homeland Security issuing an alert on terror groups and also bad actors who are looking to target Pride Month events.
Yeah, just in a few weeks, Pride will begin. The warning comes ahead of next month's celebrations, and a lot of those celebrations will be happening right here in New York City. Good Day's Lizette Nunez live outside the iconic Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village with more on how New York officials are now responding. Lizette, good morning.
Good morning, Dan and Tashawn. Well, we have one of the biggest Pride events coming up in just a matter of weeks, and that is the Pride March. So organizers say they are aware of these threats, and they are working closely with local authorities as well as private security to keep everyone safe.
Disappointing, disconcerting, and sadly not new. We get threats annually. We get threats throughout the year.
The FBI and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security warning that events and venues celebrating Pride Month in June could be targeted by foreign terrorist groups. Federal investigators say that organizations like ISIS and their supporters may try to attack.
I think this comes at a time when the concerns by the FBI and Homeland Security, all the fact that our border has been very porous, is that we have outside influencers, ISIS, ISIS-K, who've been using their old tactics of trying to get individuals to commit acts here in the homeland.
Bill Daley, a former FBI investigator and international security expert, says this is no surprise. Next month marks the 8th anniversary.
You guys remember what I said about border security? You guys remember what I said about how it was that Islam does not match well with leftist ideology, especially the U.S. progressives? Just let me point that out. That right there would be the security element. That right there would also be these parades that you will probably see televised and whatnot. And let's also not forget, how many immigration videos have I done? How many videos have I done on this channel where I've talked about the possibility that a lot, and of course we've had proof and all that type of stuff, a lot of these migrants that are coming over that Biden's letting in, of course the ones that are being sent to big cities, how many of them are actually from the Middle East? Probably a good portion. Let's watch this news report. Now, I'll let that one run a little bit longer, but obviously the FBI is now saying, holy crap, we got a problem on our hands. This right here could be the Black Swan event that people are talking about. It's the month of June, and then all of a sudden, and I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying that I would not come out here and act surprised if by some odd chance something did go wrong because they invited a bunch of Sunni Muslims into the country. And of course, Biden is trying to bring in more and more people, especially Palestinians from war-torn Gaza. I'm just simply saying, and of course, she also talked about the Pulse nightclub shooting right there at the very end. I just happened to cut that part out. I'll link it in the description box, everything you need to know as far as that clip was concerned. The point is this right here. If something was to happen, who in the hell would actually probably do this? Just pointing it out there. Now, granted, they'll probably try to sit there and say white Trump supporter bad and white Trump supporters what the hell did this. But in reality, when the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are basically telling you this right here is the case, which, by the way, they should have been out here kind of preventing this crap by saying, look, you know, maybe we should close down that border. Maybe that thing should actually be like closed, sealed. Maybe we shouldn't be bringing anybody else in. Maybe we should be deporting some people. Maybe we should be getting some verification on who's actually coming into the country, whether they're Hispanic or what, or what country they come from. I'm just simply saying that if something happens, it happened on their watch. Now, granted, then again, at the same time, though, hope and pray nothing does happen. But then again, at the same time, though, I hope and pray that these people will turn around, find God, and stop living the crazy lifestyle they live. And I also hope and pray that they stop trying to shove it down our throats. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have got to say. This right here is probably going to be the only video that gets released on Thursday. I'm going to be taking today to try to go ahead and work on the other content that I said I was going to be producing, which is going to come out on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 3 videos. It's the follow-up to the previous video I did on the left in Islam. And then, of course, the second video is going to be on why is it nobody wants to join. And I think I have another video planned on the same topic of the left and Islam because, yeah, there's actually a lot more things that I've actually found in actual research looking through things. But still, though, tell me what you guys think about this. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section, and I'll see you guys later.